Me son, hear me good. Action got echo. What you do today does answer you tomorrow. Same like sea. Quiet now, loud later. So before you step out day, guard your actions. Early one morning a day walk by the beach, and a sea footprint them. The sand she is a storybook, and every tide does turn a new page. This morning, the sun just start to stretch and yawn, painting the sky in colors only God could mix. The air was still, holding its breath, and the only sound was the sea whispering secrets to the shore. I like to walk in these quiet hours, my son. It's when the world is honest, before it put on its daily face. And there, in the damp sand, a story was already written. At first the prints were straight and deep, like the person who made them had a destination in mind and a fire in their heart. Each step was sure, one in front the other, a line of pure intention drawn upon the earth. You could almost feel the rhythm of the walk, steady as a drumbeat, moving toward the light. That is a person who know their path, who walk with purpose. They ain't looking left or right for distraction. They eyes are fixed on the horizon. That is how a life of clarity does look, me son. A straight line to your truth, but then the story change. The lines start to wander. Then they start twist up like mind couldn't make up. The prints would turn back on themselves, circle round a piece of driftwood, then stop sudden, as if the walker was lost in thought, paralyzed by doubt. It was a dance of confusion right there in the sand. One step forward, two steps to the side. You could see where the heel dig in, a moment of frustration. You could see where the toes scuffed the sand, a sign of a weary spirit. This is the walk of a person who start to listen to too many voices, who let fear and uncertainty creep into their heart and poison their resolve. They lose sight of the sunrise and start staring at their own 2 feet, wondering if they even going the right way again. Then wave come and wash all away, the straight part, the crooked part, everything. The sea didn't judge. She just wiped the slate clean, smoothing the sand until it was like no one had ever walked there at all. And I stand there and watch, and I say, that's how life does be when you move without sense. All that walking, all that worrying, all that turning back and forth. For what? For the tide to come and show you that none of it mattered, because it led to nowhere. The ocean, she is a patient teacher. She show us that a life without direction is like writing your name in the sand at low tide. It might feel important for a moment, but the consequence of time will erase it, leaving no trace, no legacy. It make me think of what the old books say. Proverbs 22:3 say, a wise person see trouble and hide, but fool them pass right through and get lick. The wise man, me son, he see the tide coming in. He see the storm clouds gathering on the horizon. He don't build his house on the shifting sand. He build it on the rock, high up on the hill where the water can't reach. He see the crooked path ahead and knows it leads to a cliff edge or a swamp. So he stops. He finds a better way. He ain't too proud to turn back from a bad road. But the fool just keep walking. He see the dark clouds and say, it won't rain on me. He feel the ground get soft and muddy, but tells himself, it will get firm again soon. He hear the thunder and thinks it's a drum beating just for him. He pass right through the trouble, thinking his own strength is enough, and then the world lick him. The rain soak him to the bone, the mud swallow him whole, and the path crumble right from under his feet. He get washed away, just like them footprints on the beach. And listen to me good, Meeson, prudence ain't fear. Fear is what make the footprints twist and turn. Fear is a prison, prudence is wisdom, prudence is freedom. It is the quiet voice inside that tell you the stove is hot before you touch it. It is the sense to check the depth of the river before you try to cross. It is respect for the power of the world around you. Prudence is knowing when to stop. It is the strength to pause at the edge of the cliff, to look down and understand the consequence of one more step. It is the humility to admit that you have gone the wrong way, and the courage to find a new path, even if it means starting all over again on that smooth, clean sand. That is the wisdom of the prudent man. He knows that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is not to walk at all, but to stand still and wait for the tide to show you the way. Mason, if this word talking to you right now, take 1 second and like this video. It tell the algorithm this message worth passing on. Look how river does move. It ain't rush foolish. It watch rock, it bend, it choose. One lil wrong turn might look small now, but it could carry you far from where you mean to go. No one young boy. Gone call he Cairo. Bright head, fast foot, quick mouth. Always say, gone fix it later. But later does come with interest. Now, let we talk about the weight of a thing. Not the weight you can measure on a scale, but the weight an action carry inside it. The weight that settles on your spirit. It start light, like a single grain of sand, but grain by grain, it can bury a man. One day, Cairo get chance handle lil money. It wasn't much, just a few bills left on a counter, forgotten for a moment. The air gets still, and in that quiet, a thought whispered to him. A sly, quick thought. Nobody would know. It was such a small amount, it would be like a drop of water in the sea. He could fix a lil problem he had and put it back before anyone even notice it gone. He tell himself, just borrow it. That word, borrow, it feels softer than take. It a blanket he used to cover the sharp edges of the truth. He wasn't a thief, no. He was just a temporary borrower. He make a promise to himself, a promise born in a moment of weakness, that he would make it right. But a promise to yourself is the easiest one to break, especially when the reason for the promise was a lie in the first place. Me son, listen to me good. When you play with wrong start play with you. It's a game that feel easy at first. You think you in control. You think you can stop any time. But wrong don't play by your rules. It changed the game on you. That first little step off the path, it make the second step easier. The lie you tell to cover the first action, it need a bigger lie to cover itself. Soon, you not walking, you sliding, and you don't even realize how steep the ground get beneath your feet. Every single thing you do, it like a drop of water. It might seem like nothing, but drop after drop it does train the heart. Action does train heart. You choose patience and your heart learn to be still. You choose kindness and your heart learn to be soft. But if you choose deceit, even a small one, your heart learned the shape of a shadow. It learned to hide. It learned to justify. It start beating to a different rhythm, a rhythm of fear and secrets. And before you know it, the heart that was once open and clear become a place of tangled roots and darkness. The old words, they hold a deep truth. Proverbs 1:29-31 say, when people hate knowledge and reject wisdom, they does eat the fruit of their own ways. Now this ain't talking about book knowledge. It talking about the knowledge of your own soul. The wisdom that whisper, no, this ain't right. When you shut your ears to that voice, you are planting a seed. Every time you justify the wrong, you are watering that seed, and that seed will grow. It will sprout and bear a fruit, and the scriptures say you will be filled with your own devices. That mean the harvest is yours and yours alone. The bitterness of that fruit, the emptiness it leave inside, that is the consequence you cultivated with your own hands. Meaning, ye choice does cook your food. Every decision is an ingredient, a pinch of honesty, a spoonful of greed, a cup of integrity, a gallon of deceit. You are the chef in the kitchen of your own life. You choose what go in the pot. You stir it with your daily actions. You let it simmer with your private thoughts. So when the meal is finally ready, you cannot be surprised at the taste. And plenty people vex at the plate, but they was the cook. They sit at the table of consequence and complain about the food. They blame the fire. They blame the pot. They blame the ingredients somebody else hand them. They look everywhere but at the chef. They forget that they was the one who chose to add the poison, even if it was just a single tiny drop. They forget that the meal they eating today was prepared yesterday, with the choices they thought nobody saw. Cairo start lose peace, sleep gone, mind racing. He start cooping everybody, because when your action crookedy, your spirit does walk crookedy too. Then he remember this word, Proverbs 16:3. Commit your works to God, and your plans gone stand. Commit ain't just talk. Commit is when you say, Lord, guide me hand, even when nobody watching. So tell Cairo 3 rule. First, pause, cool out. Second, ask, what is action gone bring? Third, choose wisdom over pride. Pride sweet quick, but it's sour long time. Cairo go back and fix what he mess up. Quiet, straight, no noise. And you know what happen? Tomorrow feel lighter. Because when you guard your action today, you ain't drag secret weight. We reached the end of our walk for today, me son. Look out at the water, how it holds the last light of the sun. The world get quiet, and in this quiet, we can hear the oldest whispers. This is where the echo of wisdom finds us. It's a sound that travel across time, carried on the waves, waiting for a listening heart. It ain't a loud shout, but a steady hum beneath all the noise of the world. It's the voice that guide the river to the sea and tell the tide when to turn. And it speaks to you, too. The old words, they hold a deep power. Proverbs 22:3 say a wise man step aside from danger. Now, this danger ain't always a roaring lion or a rising flood. Sometimes the danger is a quiet thing. It's a careless word waiting on your tongue. It's the temptation to take the easy, crooked path instead of the straight, hard one. It's the pride that tell you that you know better than the seasons, better than the signs in the sky. The wise man, he see the clouds gathering on the horizon long before the storm break. He feel the shift in the wind. He don't walk into the tempest to prove his strength. He respects its power and finds shelter. He knows some battles are won by simply choosing not to fight. That is foresight. That is prudence. It's guarding your peace like a precious jewel. And what happen when we turn our back on this guidance? Proverbs 1 say, reject wisdom and you eat your fruit. Me son, every action is a seed. Every choice a planting. You cannot plant a bitter seed and expect a sweet mango. The fruit of a life that rejects wisdom is confusion. It's a harvest of regret. It's the feeling of being lost at sea, with no moon, no stars, just the black water and the sound of your own frightened heart. You become a ship without a rudder, pushed and pulled by every wave of feeling, every gust of opinion. The fruit is a crooked spirit, a soul that has forgotten its own true north. You end up eating the consequences of your own stubbornness, and that is a meal that can last a lifetime. But there is a better way. There is a path of peace. Proverbs 16:3 say, commit your works, and your path gon settle. Think about that. Commit. It mean to give your whole self to what you do, with intention, with purpose. Whether you building a house or mending a net, do it with all your heart. When you move with purpose, your path, which once seemed like a tangled bush, begins to clear. The ground under your feet becomes firm. The way forward, it just appear. It settle. This is how you turn chaos into order. This is how you find your footing in a shifting world. So, me son, guard your actions like water in drought. Every drop is precious. Every move you make, every word you speak, let it be deliberate. Let it be worthy of the life you want to live. We've walked a long way together, talking about the footprints we leave, the choices that bend our river, and the weight of our actions. We talked about the 3 rules: to listen more than you speak, to act with kindness, and to walk with humility. All these lessons, they are echoes of the same truth. If this lesson touch you, if you feel a stirring in your spirit, then join this journey with us. Like and subscribe, me son, and let the world know you walking this path too. Type in the comments, guarding my actions. Let that be your commitment, your declaration under this wide and starry sky, because life ain't just talk, it's footprint in sand. It's the mark you leave on the world and on the hearts of others. Every day you are walking on that sand, leaving a trail behind you. Some footprints are deep and clear, marks of purpose and love. Others are shallow, scattered by confusion and haste. The tide, it will always come. It is the great equalizer. It is time. It is consequence. It is the natural way of things. And when it comes for your footprints, what will it find? Make sure when tide come, it wash peace, not regret. Make sure the story it tells is one of a life lived with wisdom, a heart filled with grace, and a spirit date like the ocean is deep and calm and free. Subscribe if you're ready for more wisdom, and type, "Ah, God in my actions" below.